Hey everybody, it's Good Time Gal. Today is April 8th, 2025. It is National Empanada Day. That's right, it's National Empanada Day. I don't know about you, but empanadas, sopapillas, carne asada tacos just make my heart, they make my heart flutter, y'all. I love me some good Mexican food. So today I'm going to show you how I make mine. And I put a vegetarian-based empanada recipe on my blog, Good Time Gal. Why? Because it is equitable. These ingredients are around us and we can use them. And I also like to include everybody because these recipes can be modified for vegetarian or for carnivores. So that's what we're doing. So let's talk about empanadas. So empanadas are a South American meat pastry. Yes, you heard that. South American meat pastry. They are not just native to Mexico. They can be found in Argentina. They can be found in the Philippines. They can be found everywhere. And the trick with it is it's a pastry dough, but we can fill it with sweet spices, sweet meats, carrots, vegetables. It's a wonderful addition to your repertoire, but it's also just filled with culture. And that's really what Good Time Gal is about. It's about celebrating these national holidays that bring us together as a community, as an American culture, and also just to celebrate, because why not? It's almost Easter, it's almost summer. Let's just keep the momentum going and just celebrating. So this recipe, it's relatively easy, but I'm going to read off the ingredients for you so you know how easy it is. So you are going to need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of salt, 1/2 cup of cold water or vegetable shortening. You're gonna need 1 egg, or you can use a flax egg, which is basically flaxseed meal plus 3 tablespoons of water. And then you need 1/3 cup of cold water, and you may wanna use more as it's needed. And then a teaspoon of vinegar. That is for the dough. Today, I am going to be doing on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing a quick, easy empanada. So I am going to be using my Southwestern chicken skillet. So this is gonna be a little faster than the empanadas on my blog. But if you're doing that on my blog, just get your olive oil, onion, garlic, bell pepper, a sweet potato, some cumin, some paprika, some salt, black beans, frozen corn, just a pinch of lime and cilantro and parsley for the top. See how easy it is? Empanadas are so easy. And I'm just so happy that I get to share them with you today. So let's get started with our dough first. So 2.5 cups of that flour, it's gonna go in the bowl. Then we're gonna put the salt. And then of course a stick of butter. If you don't know the metric, always, and this one it'll tell you, like mine tells me this is 1/2 stick, 1/4 stick. So always get butter that kind of marks it for you so you don't have to worry. And then we just cut the butter into the dough. And sometimes I'll do this where I do a little 4-way butter cut, and it makes these little cubes. You want the butter to still be really cold. And now remember, butter knife, because we're cutting it into it. So I'm just going to start chopping the butter into the flour. And it'll turn crummy. And once it turns crummy, then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. For the most part, you want to make sure you get all your butter chopped into the flour. And flour is messy, so don't freak out if you get flour on you. That's why we have an apron. This is gonna make 12 sopapillas. I'm sorry, empanadas. We'll make sopapillas later. I usually like to eat empanadas, sopapillas with honey. And some salsa. Some fresh guacamole. Oh my God. So good. Gonna go a little further. I like how it's coming along. It's crumbling, so I'm just want it a little finer. You know me and perfection. But all right, it's crumbly. You see this? It's crumbly. Looks kind of like dirt. See that? Yep, it's ready. So now I'm gonna add the vinegar. We're gonna add the really cold water. And we may need more water as we go. And then we're gonna add our egg. And then we just stir it all up. And now we get to the best part. I get to use my hands. All right, I got my dough. I like it. So now that I have this dough, and again, we said this is a pastry dough, so it has to rest. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave, I'm gonna put it in the microwave, and that's it. We're not gonna do anything that the rest, just joking. We're gonna put this in our chiller for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna work on the filling, okay? So we'll see you there. It's filling time. So if you are following my recipe on Good Time Gal, I would like you to read the directions and do it exactly as it says. I am Good Time Gal, so I'm doing a different one, which is a little easier for people today, because remember, when it's a holiday, I like to make sure that we all can participate. And some of us may not be able to just put all those ingredients. So I went ahead, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a Southwest chicken. I've got some Bob Evans country potatoes. You know your girl loves that. And then a little beer, a little bacon fat, and a little brown sugar. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. This is not gonna take as long as the filling, the vegetarian filling, and I don't believe that's gonna take long either. I think it's a total of like 7 minutes. But I just wanna make sure that I say that before I begin, okay? Because this is not on the recipe. This is just me doing a quick empanada, okay? So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of brown sugar in my skillet first. It's about a tablespoon. I'm gonna do a spoonful of those lovely potatoes. Not too many, but enough. And then I'm gonna add my Southwest chicken. This already has chicken. It's got a fire grilled flavor. A little beer. Just a little celery for crunch. Just a little bit. And if you don't have cumin or paprika, if you have some taco seasoning, it works. A little taco seasoning. I'm gonna add a little garlic powder. I always have parsley on hand, so a little parsley. A little cilantro. And that's the thing, it doesn't, empanadas, it's basically whatever you have in your kitchen that would taste good to you. I have already done an empanada like this. I know that I like the potatoes and how they turn out when I mix it with the beer and the chicken, right? Because that's really what this is about. That's what food equity is about. It's about using what we have to make a delicious meal. So a little more cilantro. Of course, just a little bit. And then a little ground paprika. Never hurt nobody. So mine is gonna be a little spicier. And I'm gonna add, like I said, a little bacon fat. Ooh, that smells good. Ooh, that smells real good. Some people like to add bell peppers to it because it gives it that bell pepper flavor. Some people just like to add meat to it with a little sweet. But your empanada filling, truly, it's up to you. And that's the beauty of an empanada, right? It's made out of a necessity. But I'm just letting this warm and cook. I can cook it all the way through if I like, but I just want to make sure that I get it warm enough. We've made it to the assembly part. You're doing great. You've made the dough, you've made your filling, we've let the filling cool, and we have gotten our timer to go off at the 30-minute mark. So this is our lovely dough that we're gonna use. All right, so some of you have watched me make cherry hand pies, and I did it where I just cut it and I went. This time I'm gonna use this bowl as my guide because I want 5 perfect discs, and then I'm going to spoon my filling inside. So this is gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I like to make sure that I roll it in dough before I begin. You know how I am. I also have an egg because I'm gonna do an egg wash afterwards. I don't want it too thin, but I also don't want it too thick, right? It's still really cold, so I love that. And the reason we want it cold is you don't want, when you cook it, you don't want it to liquefy, because sometimes the juices will be too juicy and they'll come out. All right, I'm satisfied. So let us begin. I'm still gonna use my pizza cutter because I like precision. So that's one. So I have gotten 5 discs. That's what I want. My pan ready. I'm gonna put that on the side. I'm not completely ready, but we're getting there, right? We're getting there. My tablespoon. I also added, so you can see it, I added a little cheese just because I'm that type of person. I'm that type of chef. I will keep building on the flavor until the end. So I'm just gonna do a tablespoon, a tablespoon, a tablespoon. I feel like this is more than a tablespoon. So I'm gonna remember I always have a fork handy. So I'm just gonna fold it and then press. And remember we have the fork. So we seal, yep, just like our cherry hand pie. Remember that? We were sealing the ends with a fork. And look, yep. So there's one. My fork. Crimp the ends. Aren't you glad you made those cherry hand pies with me for Valentine's Day? Because now you know how to make a soap. You know how to make sopapillas. You know how to make empanadas. When we make the sopapillas, it's going to almost be exactly like this. It's going to have that same doughy consistency. And you're going to be using this same technique. We call it the pinch technique. You can use your fingers, use a fork, but that's what gives it that lovely pattern. So that's 5. Look at us. Now fold the dough back together. And make sure we put the excess flour in the center, as always, like we do every time, because we like to conserve as much as we can. And then I'm going to knead this dough so that it becomes one, and I don't have any fissures or tears. And then I'm going to set it here, and then we just re-roll it up. Take our bowl again. I'm going to just do this. You can also do breakfast empanadas, like eggs, bacon, toast. You can do the whole thing if you want. That's the beauty of empanadas. You can make them however you like. So we have made 8 lovely empanadas. So now the bowl that we've used, we are still gonna use it. The bowl that we've used, we're gonna clean it out. Clean our hands, free of flour, because it's everywhere, but that's okay. All right, so bowl is clean, flour's clean. Now we make our egg wash, okay? And how I make my egg wash, sometimes I will do an egg white with like a little water. Today I'm doing a whole egg and a splash of water. The water is what keeps it from getting too eggy. Okay, I may want to add just a little more. Yeah, so like that. It's not anything crazy, but I want this to have that shiny empanada look. My oven is preheated to 375. My oven is preheated to 375. These will go in for 25 to 30 minutes. Again, because I have a gas stove, I'm gonna check at 20 minutes. And if they look right, I will then take them out. If they are not, then I will add it in 5-minute increments. If you have a gas stove, always gauge the time based on the heat, right? If this was an electric stove, I would do it the 25 minutes and check. But with this, a gas stove, 20 minutes, I'm gonna check and then go up every 5 minutes. Let's add the egg wash. If you're following along, oh my goodness, I am so proud of you. Look at you. You're doing it. You're doing it. Very nicely done. Let's put them in the oven and I'll see you when they're done. They're ready. And do you know what? They came out perfect. You are a chef. You're a chef. Let's plate these. So usually with my empanadas, I just like a little salsa. So I have made my very own salsa. We'll get to that too. I make a really great pineapple salsa. I make a really good plain salsa. All right, so let's look at our babies. You made that. Look at it. Oh, perfect. They're super hot. They're fresh out of the oven. But look at those beautiful ridges. And then look at the back. That was you, girl. That was you, girl. That was you, girl. I only think 3 will fit on this plate. Yes, 3 will fit on this plate. But I think I want it. Told you, I'm a perfectionist. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, so these are it. Look at that, darling. Congratulations on making your empanadas. I'm so proud of you. So from my kitchen to yours, Happy National Empanada Day. Well, that's all the time we have today. Happy National Empanada Day. One of my favorite holidays ever. Go out there and celebrate as you see fit. Please feel free to click on my channel's description for all of my links to more cooking aids. And thank you so much for the likes, shares, and subscribes. Easter is around the corner. If you need any help, please feel free to get my cookbook, Good Time Gal Cookbook. It is a cookbook for all occasions, as well as my Good Time for the holidays. This was last year's Christmas cookbook, but it's also Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all kinds of wonderful holiday recipes are in here, Southern home cooking, and just fun, delicious drink recipes. So from my kitchen to yours, happy cooking.